Manifestation only works when you are negative. I know that sounds a little bit backwards from what most people teach when it comes to the law of attraction, but I've been doing this for a very long time now, over 16 years, and I've helped people manifest significant amounts of money, success, relationships, their soulmates, their twin flames, and much, much more. And that doesn't happen by accident.
I feel like I have the tools and I've seen things shift actively since working with Jaden and Gavin.
You see, most people, when they focus on the law of attraction, they're thinking about raising their vibration. And it's something that I teach too when it comes to the law of attraction. But it's not the only part that actually gains success. You can actually be very negative and attract great success into your life. And the problem and challenge that we have in our reality is we consider negativity or negative emotions as bad. And we emotionally gaslight ourselves out of being negative and creating sort of this delusion of positivity and denying the aspect of ourselves that is negative. We live in a reality of duality and polarity. We have male and female, and this is plus and minus. This is negative and positive. When a negative and positive charge comes together, it creates a new life. And so we must be negative if we want to create a new life. So let me just share with you an example. Back in 2013, at the time of this recording of this video, that was over 11 years ago, I was in the Maldives on the beach in a negative state. And the reason I'm saying that is because I was in a toxic relationship. I was depressed. I was anxious. I had social anxiety, all around feeling good about myself. I was in a negative vibration, yet I knew the principles of the law of attraction. Take Steve Jobs, for example. Apparently, he was not a nice guy to work with. Steve Jobs is the creator of Apple. And apparently, he was very critical, a perfectionist, an angry person. And this low vibrational frequency, you probably own an iPhone or a Mac or a laptop right now. Maybe not everyone, right? I know you got the Galaxy and Samsung and stuff like that. But we can see that's a huge company, makes a lot of money. We even have things like Apple Pay. And his legacy still continues to go on after his transition. Think about it. There are so many people who have created or manifested a certain level of success when they're not necessarily a good person. And so we're over here being spiritual, trying to be nice, la-di-da-di-da, right? And trying to raise our vibration and be a good person. But what we've got to understand, sometimes the motivation for being a good person is guilt. What do I mean by that? Well, if we look at things like religion or Christianity, if you are behaving bad, you are supposed to feel guilty about that. And when you feel guilty about it, it forces you to be good and be closer to God. Well, whilst that might look like a good thing, it's actually attaching yourself to a pendulum. It's attaching yourself to an idea, a concept that if I do this, it equals this. In religion, they use the fear of the devil to motivate you to move towards God. When in actuality, when in fact the real devil is the ego. The real devil is the mind. And I'm not saying that the mind is bad here. I'm not saying that the mind is negative, because the mind just is. I'm just saying that the mind is not the truth. It's not the real, and it's all a lie. Everything that you can think of in your mind is a lie. Well, pretty much everything you can think of in your mind is a lie, because it comes down to your own perceptions of it, right? Everything is an illusion created by the mind. You listening to me right now is a complete lie. I know that might sound a little bit crazy, but it is. The way you're interpreting it is not how I'm saying it. How I'm saying it is how I'm saying it, right? Based on my own perceptions, my own ideas, my own beliefs and all this stuff. But the way you're receiving it is a different thing than what I'm intending to come through you. So every single thing you can imagine, even the color of my top, is not the color of this top. What do you want to call it? Red or burgundy? I don't know. Comment below what color this is. Who says that this color is this color? No. Who said that a light is a light? Who said that a tree is a tree? Who put these labels on things? Even the name that you have, the job that you have, how something is ugly or good looking, how someone is smart and not smart. These are all lies, these are all illusions created by the mind, and these are narrative and stories that we tell ourselves, and we get lost in the illusion of the devil, of the ego, of the evil. And again, I just want to be very clear. I'm not calling the mind something bad. In fact, you want to be negative. You want to embrace the mind. You want to allow the mind to do whatever the mind wants to do. It can think negative. It can think positive. Let it be. Let it do what it wants. Let it be like kids playing in a playground, doing whatever they want, screaming, shouting, talking, saying this negative thing, saying this positive thing. Many people trying to manifest and using the law of attraction are trying to think positive, trying to change your mind, trying to make it something different than it is, trying to rewire conditioning. And don't get me wrong, these are things that I teach to rewire your brain and overcome the identities that are holding you back from creating the success that you want. And I talk more about that in my Awaken program on how to manifest the goals that you set before you came here, how to shift your identity, how to create heart-mind coherence, how to step into the no self, where you essentially have an ego death and you're able to tap into the superconscious mind and manifest your reality. The first step to recognizing the mind, or recognizing the devil, recognizing the ego, is to accept it, to accept negativity, to literally embrace it fully, to even accept your current reality, your current self, deeply and completely, that you are negative. So what? Who cares? That you are experiencing a negative reality. So what? Who cares? Completely and utterly accept it. Embrace it fully. Once you start labeling it something negative, once you start pressing upon your ideas on reality and on yourself, you are trapped in the pendulum, you are trapped in the illusion, you are trapped in the matrix, and you're in the spiral of a pendulum. You're in the swing of a pendulum. You're in polarity. What you want to do is step back out of polarity and seeing polarity for what it is. It's the illusion, it's the matrix, it's the mind. Now, I know this might be different from what you've heard before, but with spirituality, oftentimes we have this toxic positivity, and positivity almost becomes a religion, and we deny the feminine aspect, which is the negativity. And again, when I say negativity, I'm not implying that it's something bad, right? We think negativity is bad, but it's not bad, it just is. In negativity, there is good and bad. In positivity, there is good and bad. There's polarity in both sides. And what we want to do is collapse the two and realize that they just are. We literally become emotional narcissists because we gaslight our negative emotions and we try to push them away in order to feel better, and denying the truth of our reality and accepting it completely. If you truly love yourself, why would you deny an aspect of yourself? Why would you treat it bad? Why would you avoid it? Why would you push it away? You wouldn't treat a child that way. You probably wouldn't treat another human that way. Why would you treat yourself that way? We literally need to accept that manifestation can come from negative emotions, and it's okay to be negative. We're living in a reality that says we need to be nice and we need to be good. In fact, the etymology of the word nice is foolish, is to be walked over. And we need to acknowledge that guilt is a low vibrational frequency. If we look at the map of consciousness, it's I believe it's the second lowest vibrational frequency on the map of consciousness, and it is a vibrational frequency that stops people from having success. What do I mean by that? People who have higher levels of success usually have lower levels of guilt because they don't feel guilty about having the success that they have. They don't feel guilty about going up the career ladder. They don't feel guilty about how their parents think of them or what their family thinks and what other people think of them in general. They don't care. They care less. And by caring less, which can be looked at negative, they experience more. Now, there may be some of you that have an FE personality type. FE personality type is a feeling extrovert. Feeling extrovert are known as empaths, people who are very sensitive to how other people feel, and you're influenced how other people feel and what decisions they want to make, and then you go with their decision, not recognizing what you are feeling in that moment. Whereas a feeling introvert knows what they want immediately and then they go take action on it, and nothing can stop them from doing that. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you might be an FE. So comment below if you're an FE or an FI. An FE doesn't necessarily mean that you're an empath. An empath can be a FI as well. But what I'm saying is sometimes you're highly influenced by other people's energy, and so you want to stop them from being negative. You want them to be positive. You want them to be different. You want to try and change your external reality so that you can feel good. And what I'm saying here is to find ways to accept the negativity within yourself so you can accept it in other people. That doesn't mean you're going to allow someone to walk all over you or stay in a toxic relationship or allow people to abuse you or anything of this nature. What I'm saying is you need to make it be okay that someone else is in their own ego, in their own mind, in their own reality, in their own perspectives. And it's not for you to go and judge that as negative. And when I say negative, what I mean is bad, okay? Because again, negativity is not bad. You're labeling it as something bad and something that you don't want to experience. And in some level, that might be true and probably is true. But what we've got to also understand is that you are now judging the situation based on your own ego, and you are creating stories and narratives about it, which make you feel worse. Oftentimes, it's our insecurities, it's our need for validation, it's our pain that we experienced in the past that motivates us into success. Being bullied in school, being in a toxic relationship, being hurt in the past, being in a divorce or a breakup, and then you just have this sense of motivation because of the trauma that motivates you towards success. So what is creating the success? Is it the positivity, positive thinking, or whatever it is? Or is it this negative motion that we are trying to run away from? What I teach is to look at what's motivating you, what's inside of you that is motivating you to take action and create the success externally, and understand it and speak to these parts of you and build a relationship with them. Because in the negativity, there's a lesson inside and it can teach you so much. So as long as you're willing to go inside and see what it's there to teach you. We want to be in rhythm with the universe. There's a universal rhythm that we can tap into, but it doesn't go with being positive. We believe being positive is raising my vibration. This is not accurate, okay? What is more accurate is that we have a core frequency. Core frequency is, an example of this is having a guitar, right, that is out of tune, right? The turning forks on a guitar. If they're out of tune and you try to play it, right, it doesn't matter how good you feel. It doesn't matter how positive you are, how great of an artist you are, or a musician you are. The guitar is going to sound like crap, right? It doesn't matter. It's out of tune, right? And so your instrument, your body, is an instrument because you have organs in your body, by the way. We have to tune the frequency of our being, right, into a high vibration. Change the hertz of our vibrational being, and that will put us in tune, just like the guitar being in tune. So if you're feeling bad or you're feeling good, it doesn't matter, right? And so when you play your instrument, when you play the guitar, it's tuned. And so it doesn't matter if you're feeling good or bad. It plays. It's singing the song, right? It's in harmony with the orchestra of life. It's in harmony with the rhythm of life. And so you're able to manifest despite if you're feeling bad, despite if you're feeling good. This is the real raising your vibration. And the real way in which you raise your vibration is actually to focus on healing the heart. And I'm not talking about your heart chakra. I'm talking about your actual physical heart. Your heart has memory, okay? Your heart has 40,000 neurons. Your heart thinks for itself, and it taps into the superconscious mind. It taps into the spiritual realm. We just don't know it. They talk about manifesting your heart's desires. They talk about following your bliss. And we really need to learn that the heart is the feminine. It is the negative. Even though we look at it as love and positive, it is the actual negative side to the positive. The positive side is the brain, right? Brain asserts, right? Heart attracts, right? We focus so much on thinking positive. We focus so much on trying to rewire the brain. We focus so much on affirmations and visualizations and all this stuff. And it's just brain, 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 brain. And masculine, 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 masculine. We're not focused on the feminine, 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 feminine. The heart is what pulls things in. In fact, the electromagnetic energy from the heart is 60 times more powerful in amplitude than the brain. And this is proven in the Heart Math Institution. So you have to heal your past, you have to heal your heart, and that will raise your vibration dramatically. And I show exactly how to do that in my Awaken program. The link will be in the description. It's one of the first things I share with people in order to dramatically raise their vibration. And again, the goal of that is not to feel good. It's literally just to shift your vibration. Can you change how you feel in the process so you can feel good more often? Absolutely. But it's not the number one goal. The number one goal is to shift your core vibration. And then after you you can shift your emotional vibration. So what I'm saying here is to embrace the negative. Embrace the negative. Stop seeing negative emotions, negative feelings, negative experiences as bad. I know that's more easier to said than done, but essentially that's what we have to do, because as soon as we feel bad about situation, we can create more situations and circumstances that feel bad. But when we step into that state of emptiness and awareness and seeing and not labeling, this is the color red, this is bad, this is good, and just seeing and witnessing, now you're allowing the kids to play in the playground without telling them what to do, without parenting them, without gaslighting them. We're just experiencing it. So me, Gavin, can experience a negative emotion, and I can see it and witness it and feel it in my body, and fully engage in it and allow it and play and let it do whatever it needs to do without trying to change it or ask it to be something else. And in fact, when you do that, it dissolves much faster. We have to accept our current reality in order for it to change if you want it to. You have to accept yourself, your own emotions, and what you're going through right now in order to see a change in your life. If you're constantly focused on trying to make something change, you are implying that there's something wrong with your current reality, and you'll keep on creating something wrong in your current reality. We chase, we seek, and we create the polar opposite, and we get stuck in a pendulum swinging back and forth trying to escape the pendulum, when all we need to do is step back and accept completely.